Don't go anywhere, as today we destroy all our opponents from nowhere with my favourite combo deck I've ever had in Standard. This is some mega tier 1 janky craziness. Hey everyone, Hex here, and do I have a combo deck for you today? What started out as jank has gone unbeaten, and what more, I've never had so much fun doing it. Firstly though, if you'd all be so kind as to drop a like on the video, and subscribe below if you haven't. Your support means everything to this channel, but onto this deck, and I've never been so excited to share a list with you. The combo today is going to be between Persuasive Interrogators and a new card in Pitiless Carnage. So the Interrogators has been around for a while, but finally with this new set it feels feasible. It's a 6-drop 5/6 that ETBs with a clue, but when you sack a clue, target opponent gets 2 poison counters. It is that simple. You pay 10 mana, you sack 5 clues with this out to win. No, that's not what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be running Pitiless Carnage instead. This 4-cost sorcery with plot 3 says sack any number of permanents you control and draw that many cards. So for 3 mana we get to sack our 5 clues and win. Plotting this early means you even get to cast this later for free on the same turn you play the Interrogators. It works way more than it should. So clue generation creature wise, I get to play 2 pretty decent ones in this deck. Firstly, the Rookie. It gets a clue each time a creature ETBs with power or toughness greater than its own. And we've got Briarbridge Tracker. Did you know this is still in Standard? Well, I didn't, but almost always a 4/3 for 4 that makes a clue when it ETBs, hopefully grabbing another cheeky one from the Rookie too. Non-creature clues today in Candy Trail, an essential card. It keeps you alive, scries for your creatures and draws a card if needed. I've a normally bad card in Foul Play. It's a 2-drop sorcery that destroys a creature with power 2 or less, but makes a clue. Then we've got some secret tech here. The bad card that no one sees hiding down in our mana base. It is Scene of the Crime. It's a tap land that taps for colours, but it is in itself a clue. It's a great card for this deck. And I reckon that with these 5 clue creators, I've got enough so the rest of the deck helps keep us alive and orchestrates a win. We've got Pillage the Bog. It's another new card, but very powerful, as it lets you look at 2 times the top X cards of your library, where X is the number of lands you control. Then you get to put a card from them into your hand. I've got Outcast Trailblazer, a low-key MVP today. It plots for 3, but when it or another creature of power 4 ETBs, you draw a card. This card gives you a mana when it ETBs, hopefully to help cast you your Interrogators on the cheap, and it helps with clues from the Rookie, as does Shelly. In a clue deck, when we can draw cards, this card is perfect. And we have Honest Rutstein to help bring back your creatures, but it discounts your creatures, which is really the main reason for this card, as the Interrogators is a pricey 6 mana. I've got Go for the Throats and a Deadly Cover Up for the emergencies we may face. 26 lands, and that is the deck. So this is my perfect deck. It does everything I want to do in a combo deck. I won't go through all the alternatives, as there are literally over 3,500 cards I believe in Standard, but I wouldn't suggest changing it until you give it a try. If you want janky off-meta brews, then this deck is for you. I can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe if you haven't. Look out for tomorrow's video where I'm going to go through how I make a combo deck from scratch, then play it in some raw deck building footage, and I'll catch you again in the next video. Alright then, on the play in our Persuasive Interrogators Poison combo deck here, and this is a really good opening hand actually. We have a turn 1 play, and we have the Interrogators. I mean, in a deck that revolves around winning with 1 card, having that card in your opening hand is great, unless the opponent wants to play some discard spells, but absolute keeper for us here. It's pretty much a banger of our opening hand here. So we'll play the Candy Trail. My biggest problem with the Interrogators is its price. So up until this point in the previous set, I just didn't think it was playable. But with the Honest Rutstein discounting your creatures and the Pitiless Carnage that you can cast for 0, I think this combo is really good. We'll play the Rookie here though. Fortunately, he doesn't do anything when it ETBs. But hopefully we get to drop a Shelly in a minute and grab a clue. So we're just going to quietly gain clues. If we have to sack them to draw, we will. The Interrogators gains a clue when it ETBs as well. That's something to remember. So you only ever need 4. But things like Candy Trail are great at just gaining life, scrying, finding your cards. They have no idea what we're up to. And I think that's the best. When your opponents don't know what's going on. They play Relic of Legends here with a Bartolome on the battlefield. So let's just get rid of that to keep them off mana for this turn. Okay, Pillage the Bog. That's really nice. going to get to look at the top 8 cards of our library and pop one into our hand. Another new card from Outlaws of Junction, but I think we just want to grab a clue before they shoot the rookie. Yeah, and they've gone for Sheoldred, which is probably the best play for them, but it's the rookie that's going to potentially get us into this game, or make us win this game. Well, there's our Carnage. I mean, so combo in our hand. We're going to want to plot this Carnage as soon as possible, and we need 2 more clues on the battlefield. So we could plot this as well, but I think we'll just go for it. See what's going on. Okay, I was hoping for maybe a scene of the crime, our clue land. Tracker is nice, but we only have 2 mana. I'd like to take the Trailblazer. That's a really nice card. Again, just discounting when you play the Interrogators. I'm actually going to go for land. It's not the most exciting play for us here, but it's what we need. It's definitely what we need. And up until this point, the opponent hasn't really been doing too much to us. So let's plot this. So yeah, I mean, that's the hardest part of the deck assembled. So we can play Interrogators and the Carnage on the same turn and just skirt any removal. Clearly, if they remove the Interrogators, we're in trouble, but we're just going to play around it. That's how I work. Opponent with a Rata Drabik, sure. Okay, well, there's our land. We do need that. I mean, we can always crack clues to draw cards if we want to, but I don't really want to just yet. Let's see what's going on at the top of our deck. Okay, well, it's a land. Other good thing with the Carnage is you can start sacrificing your lands if you're just looking for key pieces, if you find another Carnage maybe. Pillage the bog on top is definitely what I'm going to keep. And yeah, we'll keep this one. So I was meant to put up another video yesterday where I was actually going to show some raw footage of me building a kind of like pseudo combo deck from scratch. Different type of video, but YouTube was having a moment and not allowing upload. So that's going to go up tomorrow. So keep an eye out on that if you want to know how I sort of go about making decks and then play them. It's just going to be 30 minutes of literal raw footage. Very different to what I've done before. Opponent does manage to keep their Rata Drabik alive. And we did lose our rookie. Maybe we shouldn't have attacked there. Maybe that was a little bit greedy. Because with the rookie on the battlefield, the Interrogators would actually make 2 clues. But they could find a removal at any point. So let's pillage here for just the casual 14. Interrogators, well, we already have 1. 2 in our hand here. So this Pillage the Bog is really the card that kind of enables us to find our combo pieces. The removal spell, not so great as the creature the opponent has more than 2 power. So what are we looking for here? We could go for another rookie, but that doesn't really do too much. I swear they're just going to remove anything. Let's go for the Rutstein. I think that card allows us to bring back a rookie and play it again. So let's go with that line. What I like about our deck is it's just a lot of value here, but every card does something that is needed here. The opponent is holding on to cards though, so I think one thing that they probably have is a removal spell. I doubt that they realise what's going on, but I'm guessing they've got a removal. So we'll see what we draw next turn. Might be a case of us just playing this Interrogators and using the Carnage to draw some cards. Maybe not taking them down to 10 poison straight away, but potentially doing the poison damage over the course of 2 games. That is Danather. Okay, I mean, that is a lifelink. And what I like about this deck as well is that I couldn't care less about their life or really our life. We find another Carnage. Okay, I mean, that isn't a very good draw for us at all. So Interrogators will make 4 clues. I think I'm going to go for Interrogators, sack the clues, put them on 8 toxic, and then hopefully draw something for next turn. Because we'll be drawing 4 cards, and I will probably sack a land or 2 as well. So we'll probably be drawing 4 or 5 cards here. So let's go for it. Let's go for the Interrogators. They have 2 mana open. Do they have a removal? Doesn't look like it. No, let's just go for the Carnage then. See what we can find. Otherwise, we're just treading water here. They have Destroy Evil. Okay. Alright, well, fair enough. They had the card anyway. Well, in that case, I'm going to get rid of... I'm not going to waste my clues. We can get rid of 2 lands here. Let's get rid of the 2 forests. And let's keep digging. So we just need a Rutstein. Oh, well, there it is. Let's go for the tracker, though. Alright, so we have enough clues to win the game, but we also have some clues here that we can draw some cards. Rutstein can bring back our Interrogators. Our opponent doesn't actually have any cards left, so we just need to hang in there. We've pretty much got the win here. We just got to hang in there and not die over the course of the next 2 turns. They're getting in there with their Danitha. And we are going to Rutstein. Oh, we get a Candy Trail as well, which is great. We're going to Rutstein. We're just not attacking. We're just going to block. Just make sure we stay alive. We'll play our Rutstein here and bring back our Interrogators from the graveyard. We will plot this Carnage. So we have lethal next turn. They can surely see what's going on here. They see we have 6 clues. They've put 2 and 2 together here. We aren't going to attack. We're just going to hope that they can't win. And in fact, it doesn't really matter too much about the creatures. They give me the good game. They know what's going on here. We are going to potentially win here with our Interrogators and Carnage. What do they have? It's a Flesh Taker. Okay, so they look like there's some kind of Orzhov, Aristocrats, Ratadrabic deck. They're attacking with a 6/4. I'm not really sure what any of this does. I don't really want to kill the Danitha, but we can just throw a creature away here. Potentially, I just don't know what they could have here. So they GG us, but are they going to let us do our thing here? So we'll cast the Interrogators here. Grab another clue off the rookie. Grab another clue off the Interrogators. It's going to be major overkill here. Pitiless Carnage for free. That is why this combo, I think, is so much better than it used to be. There is a Witch that does this, which costs 6. But this card does it for free. An opponent is going to get poisoned out, toxics out, without really us doing any damage elsewhere to the opponent here. And winning without attacking with combo decks is definitely something I love to do. And yep, they are going to take lethal there. Alright, on the play, game number 2. So the last game we managed to get there in the end. I've learned how to kind of play this deck, I think, after just playing that one game. This hand is really good because we have our Interrogators. We actually have 3 clues in our hand. The scene of the crime here is a hidden clue the opponent might not realise. Here's our friend Tiny Bones joins up. It's going to make us discard a card. Well, we'll discard the Go for the Throat. It's not part of our strategy, really. Rookie's nice. We'll play Rookie. Could have Candy Trailed there, but if we find another 2-drop next turn, we can double spell with the Trail. Here comes the Bat. Sure. I considered putting the Bat in this deck, but what I liked to do in these kind of decks is focus on the combo and not focus too much on our opponent's plays. Candy Trail here finds a Rookie on the top and a Swamp. Well, we are going to need lands, but right now building up our board is pretty sweet. Rutstein will reduce the cost of our Interrogators, so we're just looking for our Pitiless Carnage, really. They get in there with their Bat. And a Trotter, okay. Okay, so they're just a Assassin deck, it looks like. Grixis. Tracker is really nice. I guess scrying isn't great in the face of a Tiny Bones joins up. Maybe that's why they played the Atrata that turn, because they wanted me to scry it away. But honestly, I think the Tracker is a better card anyway, because we currently have the clues available. So we actually have all of our clues needed. We have 4, and then the Interrogators will produce 1 when it ETBs. Atrata is probably going to be too much value for them, so let's get rid of that. Tracker has done its job. They might not have expected that block. Okay, Rutstein is nice. Just want to hit some lands here, though. Might have to sack one of these lands soon. Okay, 3 steps ahead here. Counters our spell, sure. Not a problem. We'll just attack the opponent. So if they're just playing counter magic, we're just gonna... We could potentially just win with the rookie if we're... if it goes our way. We'll attack here with a 4-4 though. 3-3, sorry. And we'll play our Rutstein again to try and bring back that other one. That'll be a no. 3 steps ahead again. Well, I'm glad they're not making copies of the bat. I think that would be annoying for us. Alright, well, they are getting in there with their bat, so... We have 5 mana now. I might start drawing cards here, because we're going to need to just find some gas. Edict gets rid of our rookie. Okay. Not a lot going on here. They've managed to get us down to just the 1 card. A Tiny Bones is going to make me discard this Interrogators. I really don't necessarily want to do that, seeing as 2 of our Rutsteins are in the graveyard. I think I'm going to draw... And although this gets rid of one of our clues, we have plenty of ways to get clues in this deck. And let's get rid of this Marsh. Need the Interrogators. Big time. In comes the bat again. And we find... Alright, there's our Carnage. Well, we'll plot that before they get a chance to look in our hand. If they want us to make us discard again, we can just draw another card. Man, I love this Carnage. So many different decks I think it works in. Candy Trail. Okay, well that is a clue. Alright, so clues assembled again. We are... In fact, we have lethal, don't we? With the Interrogator... In fact, we do have lethal next turn. We absolutely do. Do they counter our Interrogators or destroy it when it ETBs? That is the question. That is what our deck has to play around. We know there's a land on top unless they make me... mill it. Okay, in comes the bat. They do not. Well, let's snap off this Interrogators here. Does opponents see that sneaky little scene of the crime sitting down there? Shoot the sheriff to deal with our creature. Okay, this is what we're having to do. Keep plugging away. I just didn't want to put like protection spells and... things like that. We can draw with a Candy Trail in our upkeep here. Just looking for another one or a Rutstein. There's a Tracker. Make another clue. Keep drawing cards. Why not? Yeah, they let that through. I thought they were going to counter that maybe, but no. Okay, so we'll just draw another card. And yeah, we're just playing the almost a draw-go game at the moment here. Let me know in the comments what you think of this deck. I mean, it is janky, but I feel like it's actually quite robust and quite resilient. Lively Dirge gets them to search for a library, put it in their graveyard, and return 2 creatures. What is interesting, though, is they've almost tapped themselves out here. We'll see how this goes. Tiny Bones, the Pickpocket, enters the battlefield. So does a Trutter. Okay, and they make us mill cards. So be it. That's why I like the Carnage being plotted here. It's just sitting there quietly doing its thing. They get in there with their bat. They go up to 21. We'll draw here. What are we going to find? It's a land. Okay, well, I mean, that isn't great. Another Carnage. Okay. Sure. I think we'll be playing the Carnage here, definitely. Sacrificing a land. Maybe 2 lands. We only need 6 lands for our Interrogators. And I think that's what we can do. We can just play the Carnage that is not plotted. And we'll get rid of 2 of the lands that we have tapped. And yeah, they do not have a counterspell or any kind of interaction here. Alright. There's our Interrogators. I mean, every card so far in our deck is kind of doing its thing, but it's also doing a second job. And when I make decks like this, I really like to try and make sure that every card that is played does more than just one thing, and it does something else than just enter the battlefield. That's my kind of like number 1, number 2 rules of making a deck like this. And as you can see, the Pitiless Carnage did more than one thing there. It allowed us to actually dig for our combo, because we just have one plotted anyway. In comes Rutstein. Well, let's go for the Interrogators. See if the opponent sees that we have that scene of the crime sitting down there in our mana base. If they remove this, I'm going to bring it back with Rutstein. This is the dangerous play here as we go for the kill. Does the opponent have any way to deal with interrogators? No, they don't. The opponent is going to die here. Nothing they can do with Toxic. They can gain as much life as they want. And we have our second combo kill in 2 games. Okay, is this deck good? Is this good, Jank? Let's find out as we go to game number 3. Okay, on the draw. Game number 3. We've combo killed our last 2 opponents out of nowhere. This deck is robust. This hand is keepable. Again, we have our interrogators. I don't know if luck is on our side, but that's the 3rd game in a row we've had this card in our opening hand. And I will not mulligan when we have this card, even though the rest of the hand is pretty bad. That is a Lawkeeper for our opponent, so it suggests we are playing against dinosaurs. Not sure how that's going to go. Go for the throat is a nice way to deal with a dino, but this deadly cover-up, this 1 copy we have in our deck, is in our hand, so that's something to think about. I think we'll just get rid of their mana dork. If they play a raptor or something, we're not going to be able to deal with it because of the ward, so this will hopefully slow them down. We're just going to slowly get ourselves to 5 clues and then win the game. Opponent does indeed name dinosaur, and they just pass the turn, sure. Well, we can plot our Trailblazer, which I think might be the better play right now. If we play this tracker, I think they might just kill it straight away. Let's plot. So obviously this card is interesting. I feel like it performs a duty in that we get to play this later and drop the interrogators for 5 mana. And I think that's really powerful. All we get to do play it to draw a card at any point. And with Shelly on the battlefield, that's gaining some life. So yeah. Tracker, let's see how this one goes. What do they have? So this gains us the clue as it ETBs, which is really the main reason it's in this deck. I just didn't remember this card was still in Standard. I feel like it's a forgotten card, but it's pretty beastly as normally a 4/3. There's a lot of tokens around. You could also try this deck by playing some blue and using a few more of the gain evidence cards. I felt if you're worried too much about making clues, it kind of you lose focus on actually winning the game and dealing with your opponent's threats. They have played Fight Rigging, which is going to be annoying. We do have this deadly cover up. Clearly they could easily have some major threats. I think I'm going to just put down as much power and toughness as possible onto the battlefield. I think we need to survive. I've played enough of these kind of decks to know we can win on 1 turn, but we can die pretty easily if we're not careful. They do play a Hammerskull and Nexus, and Hammerskull's going to enable their Fight Rigging. It's a Carnosaur, which discovers into Whatley. Okay, so we can just blow up this board if we really wanted to. Does that really help us, though? We'll see what we draw. Okay, well, we draw a Pitiless Carnage. Ooh, Pitiless Carnage here with 2 interrogators on the battlefield is going to be lethal. How do we die? This Nexus doubles the power and toughness, so Carnosaur would be 14. I think we go for the win here. I don't really just want to... I was going to deadly cover up. But I don't think we do. I think we go for the win here. We will only need 3 clues to sacrifice with 2 interrogators on the battlefield. I think we plot this. We'll just play a creature just to soak up some damage. I guess this is going to ping us for a damage as well, but I think... yeah, I think this is it. We survive till next turn, we win the game again. If we manage to do this, you guys are going to have to spread the word with this deck, because I feel like this is really powerful. Winning without attacking is extremely powerful when there are board states like this. They're getting in there with a Carnosaur and the Hammerskull. Well, we block the Hammerskull definitely, and do I just take 14 now? Let's Let's throw away this Trailblazer, soak up some damage. If they've got like a shock or a lightning strike, I'd feel stupid if I didn't block that Carnosaur at all. Alright, let's just go for the win. Let's do this. They may well have a removal here. But no, it looks like it's going to work with 2 Interrogators. That's going to be 6 times 2 poison counters. Opponent dies. Opponent dies. 3 games in a row we've comboed off. Wow. I'm impressed with this so far. Alright, on the play, game number 4. These games feel like they go on for a while. This hand isn't actually that bad. We'll play our Scene of the Crime, so... Clue made. Opponent with Tiny Bones. Okay. Is this the most played 1-drop at the moment? I think it could be, but it is the perfect fodder for our foul play as we make Clue number 2. So they are on some Orzhov build into Vadmir. Sure. Not too concerned about that card. It does kind of give the game away as to what the opponent is up to. Fortunately, the Scene of the Crime, its major downside is it has to tap a creature for coloured mana there. So we couldn't plot our Carnage. But it really isn't the reason this card is in the deck. They did have a desert into an attack by their Vadmir, but I'm not too concerned. We'll play Shelly. Makes a Clue. Draws a removal spell, and we're going to get a cow out of this. A 2/2 cow that is just going to block this Vadmir, or an ox. Alright, we just need 1 more Clue token. So we can bring back Shelly if we want to. I don't think that's the best play for us right now. I think we want to be using the Rutstein to bring back maybe an Interrogators if we need to. I think we can... Well, I mean, Shelly is important. Campbell for the opponent is interesting as it's going to create them tokens when we create our own. So I don't want to go too crazy with the token creation here. I think this is a big turn here. We'll play Rutstein. This holds open go for the throat. This suggests to the opponent that we're going to play Shelly next turn. Shelly plus the clues is a lot of life gain for us. What are they going to play here? It's another desert that is going to ping us, but more importantly, it's going to make Vadmir larger. Deep Cavern Bat. Sure. I'm just going to let this go. Take what you want. Not too concerned. I don't really want them to take the Carnage, but... Could have just shot the bat in response, but I don't really just want to just fire off spells willy-nilly. Okay, they go for the obvious play, which is taking our go for the throat. It's kind of just sitting there, though, ready to be used later as we draw another Carnage. So Carnage in multiples is probably not that great. We can't double spell this turn. I really would have loved a land there, but I think Shelly's always a great play for us here. We make a clue, so we're clued up here. Opponent's also going to make a clue. They're going to drain us. We need to be very, very careful on how we play this particular game. Campbell is going to do a lot of incremental damage, and we're just not going to be attacking the opponent, so it's very important that we don't get drained to death here. Shelly is nice as it can block any of their attackers, really. Then comes Invasion of Innistrad, -13/-13 to a creature. They're surely going to target this Shelly, which they do. I guess this as a target is also going to, for the first time ever, I've seen Vadmir here become a 6/6 menacing lifelinker. Why are they not attacking with Vadmir here? There we go. So I'm going to definitely block their Vadmir, but we are going to lose 2 of our creatures here. I don't really want this Innistrad to flip, to transform. It creates zombies, and with Campbell out, that is a lot of drain. Let's find a 1-drop rookie. Alright, well, let's plot away. Guess we just play the rookie. Another blocker on the battlefield. So yeah, obviously one thing I've learned about this particular deck is it's a slow burn. It's a slow burn, but we are so robust. They play Outlaws. Not a card I'm truly concerned about right now. Guess we're going to have to start cracking clues and sacrificing permanents with our second copy of Carnage here, just to make sure we find some threats. I think we'll go for a couple of lands here, though. We're bound to draw a land. We just need our interrogators. Okay, go for the throat is sweet. Couldn't shoot that Outlaws. And Scene of the Crime in our hand as well is going to be another clue. So we can always sack a clue here. We'll see how this goes. No doubt they're going to attack with their 4/4. So let's just destroy that temporarily. It becomes a part of their mana base now. They crack their own clue. And they get in there with their bats. So Invasion of Innistrad slowly dwindling. Forsaken Miner, okay. And Scene of the Crime. Alright, well, we have clues for days. I think we can afford to crack one of them just here. Okay, Shelly. 3-cost Shelly. Can't play it. Not much we can really do here. There's no point us cracking a clue. Might want to do that when we have Sheoldred on the battlefield. No attacks. We'll just sit tight. They are going to be able to transform their Innistrad if they attack, I would presume. I don't really want to lose my Rutstein. I really don't want to lose the rookie. But like I've mentioned in previous games, we can kill our opponents no matter what life total they have. And we're still on 14, and this has got to be, what, like turn number 9, 10. So this is all good. Invasion of Innistrad becomes a Deluge of the Dead. Creates 2/2 black zombies, pings us with Campbell, and for 3 mana they can create a zombie to ping us with Campbell. So here is their game plan. I'm not sure how many times they've managed to transform to Deluge of the Dead. They are tapped out now. Okay, so interrogators off the top would be lethal. Definitely no interrogators. Alright, well, how do we preserve our life total? I think the best way here is with Shelly. Probably should have played the tap lands there. And we're going to start cracking clues, gaining some life. And although they start pinging us with Campbell, we can make sure that we stay alive. Might have to just fire off this Carnage in a minute to draw some cards. Tiny Bones. Alright, it's going to make us play it from our graveyard if that attacks. And Outlaws re-enters the battlefield. Alright, this is the game now, isn't it? Can we stay alive? And then can we kill our opponent? We'll block accordingly and take 7 damage here. I'm just nervous of shenanigans by them with Campbell. Especially as we want to create clues ourselves. But 3 Scene of the Crimes is surely going to be what we're going to be using to sacrifice to the Carnage when we finally get there. And they're going to make make a zombie, are they? With their Deluge. I kind of want them to keep doing this. They do, they do. They eat their Tiny Bones from the graveyard. And we will crack a clue here to gain some life. Okay, Candy Trail, sure. Candy Trail actually not one of our worst cards here. So unassuming as a 1-drop, but really fills a great slot. Deadly Cover Up. I don't think so. I mean, if we Deadly Cover Up here, they just create a load more zombies. I don't think this is going to do it for us. I just think Deadly Cover Up would be an awful play. We would wipe the board. Great. But then they will just continuously make zombies with their Deluge. I think what we want to do is just keep digging and digging and digging, staying alive with Shelly. Keep the rookie alive as well. Then we can just eat our Candy Trail and our clues. Make sure we tap accordingly. Let's sack, gain some life, draw a card. Another Candy Trail, okay. Okay, I think the game was revolving around these 2 turns. They're finding it. Oh, wow. 2 interrogators there. Okay, well, that's our game. We survive till next turn. We win the game. Simple. We have some life gain in hand, or in our on the board here with our Clue token and Sheoldred. In comes Gix. Okay, if they attack, they're going to lose some life. Not the end of the world. That's 5, 6, 7, 8 damage coming through, so that isn't even lethal. That's not lethal. I've got to be careful of Campbell still. Have we got this game wrapped up? They do have a card in their hand. I kind of want them just to tap out, you know? We'll block accordingly. We'll preserve our life total. If that's a removal in their hand, it's going to be annoying. Also, what's really nice is 2 interrogators on top of our deck. If they make us mill one of them, we still have another one there. We go down to 5. Alright, make some zombies, opponent. Make some zombies. Tap yourself out. So yeah, if they play land... There we go. Okay, it's land and tiny bones. Alright, make us discard our Glade. Go on, spend your mana there. They do. Okay, I believe they think they've wrapped this game up for next turn. Some bats are being made. All sorts of stuff going on here. Still got a card left in their hand, though. Are they going to tap that black mana? Yes, they do. Okay, they make another token. Eat our rookie from the graveyard. Let's gain some life now. Draw a card. And it goes to our turn, and yeah, let's just do this. We definitely have enough clue tokens here for our 4th combo win in a row. Here we go. This is crazy. I did not expect this. Carnage for free. 5 cards drawn. Also gain a load of life. I couldn't be happier with this particular deck today. Normally on a Friday, I love to play a little janky brew. And in my mind, this is jank. But this is tier 1 jank. I am very impressed.